Man, you come straight out of a comic.
So
listen here. If I didn't, I ain't gonna hold y'all. If they didn't hit me with the screener, I would not be on this episode with y'all. I had no plans on seeing this movie.
I can't
saw
say
it twice.
that. I can't say that. Yeah.
Huh?
When I saw Michael Keaton's Batman, I was like, you know what? What did Ezra
They gave
really
it to
do?
me they gave it to me in the trailers. I was okay with it. Like I literally had no interest. The day that the screener came through, my brother said, "Ha ha!" I said, "Fuck! I got to see this movie now." Like literally, I was that against it. And then like here's the thing also that irritated me with the movie. Now that I'm thinking about it again. If this would have been a solo movie that had no connections, I probably would have been a little bit more lenient to it. But this, to me, was not a good Flashpoint movie at all. It didn't do anything from the comics or the anime. And again, the connection to it and with it leading nothing. Those two really like irritate me right now with this movie. That's like it's not leading to nothing. And as a Flashpoint movie from the comic standpoint and even from the movie standpoint, it didn't follow any other themes. And I get it. I agree with you, Will, with this movie. That would have been way too much for them to do. But then, like I said, tell us a different story. I think that this should have been a whole different story.
What would you have preferred to have been the Flash movie based off of this being in the Snyderverse and them making it as if the Snyderverse was going to continue? What did you want to see? Just kind of just like broke down like kind of like briefly from an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 standpoint. What did you want to see?
Well, if they was going with this storyline, because like the beginning of the storyline and what they were trying to do, like I understood that storyline of dealing with his, the death of his mom, trying to save his dad and everything like that. I feel like focus on that. I feel like as much as I love Zod, as much as I love that part didn't need to be in it. Supergirl didn't need to be in it. Make this a Flash movie. Give us the storyline of him, dealing with his trauma, going back with past Flash, dealing with Reverse Flash. Like Reverse Flash, I mean, you could still even have the Savitar, even him pushing him out the Chrono Bow, stopping him from going back out of in time. But like again, don't make those the villains. Savitar and Reverse Flash, and deal with that and wrap that up because like. Granted, like you have that moment of him going to try to stop the murder. That can be Act 1, part of Act 2. But then again, like CT said, at some moment you see that shadowy figure, and he also has to answer the question. Wait, all right, I not only do I want to stop this murder, but who was that went to try to kill my mom, and how do now I got to stop him? Like, give us that story. I think don't incorporate Zod and all of that because. Again, even when you think about a good villain, a lot of the villains that we like, Killmonger, Thanos, it posed the question, of all right, was he right? Was he wrong? And even the villains who like really just take our heroes to the limit, you have that like, damn, our people like they wasn't even gonna make it. And even though Zod technically won on this one and took them to the brinks, it didn't hit that hard because we were so invested in more of the Flash going back in time, Savitar, the Chrono Bow, Young Flash, like the villain of Zod. To me, I didn't get a payoff in this more than what I got out of Man of Steel.
I'll say one, I hate hearing niggas say didn't instead of didn't. And number two, I feel like this movie was so fire, with the exception of if you want to do a Flashpoint movie, and I tell everybody this, like the first time I saw it with BT, and I was like, bro, have you seen Flashpoint? And he was like, nah. I was like, you have to see Flashpoint because Flashpoint is exactly what this movie should have been if you're gonna, but they didn't call it Flashpoint, by the way.
They didn't call it, but they kept on referencing it.
Initially, they were going to call it the Flashpoint because they thought that they had all the members of the Justice League, but they did not. Mm-hmm. However, in the animated series, the animated movie Flashpoint, it was done masterfully. And I wish that the directors of DC films would just like bar for bar do exactly what they saw in the cartoon movie. And I'll tell you this why. Dion is a director. Dion, I know that you do your own thing. You're like, no, man, because directors want to do their own vision. They don't want to just copy and paste. But then you got to remember that you're servicing fans. And a lot of these directors are not comic book fans or even fans of films. We learned that the hard way with Sam Raimi with Spider-Man 3. Just because he wasn't a fan of Venom, he didn't realize how big of an audience Venom had. So big that, in fact, 15 years later, they've done 2 successful Venom films based on a hero who should have had his own movie. But I digress. So when you look at doing shot for shot, what do you call it? Shot for shot. Fuck it. When you look at doing a shot for shot film from a previous medium, look at The Last of Us. Look at shows like The Last of Us where people praise you for doing it almost identically to the video game, and it became so successful. They're like, all right, well, shit, let's do this with something else.
But you couldn't do that with this though.
Yes, you could.
But here's a few elements of why that may have dropped the ball. One, and like, correct me if I'm wrong. In Flashpoint, Flash already knows who Reverse Flash is, right?
No, you're talking about in the Flashpoint. Yes.
Yeah. In Flashpoint, he knows that. So if you're generating that off of this, you're trying to give us a character that this dude ain't met yet. Yeah. We don't know. He doesn't know the history nor the hatred Reverse Flash has for him. So now you have to try to portray all of that if you're going to go shot by shot, because we haven't been introduced to him yet in Snyder's version.
But also, go ahead.
I was going to say, but here's where you can do that. So remember, one of my first criticism against this movie was that opening scene didn't hit for me, right? Mm-hmm. So you have an opening scene where you see, again, you can flex Barry's powers, but you can also see his rival right off top. Whatever they're racing to, whatever they doing, whatever. Because, you know, Barry Allen and a Reverse Flash, like, they have so many battles that first scene can be one of their epic battles, the height of their battles, and you can get the sense of, okay, shit. All right, Reverse Flash, like, he's different color. He
could immediately say, "I'll get you next time, Flash."
Yeah. And is that how y'all want to introduce Reverse Flash like that?
Well, Pete. One, aside from not liking hearing niggas say "didn't" the wrong way, I also don't like that this nigga Deuces never volunteers the sword. You ever notice, Will and Dion, if one of us talk at the same time as the other one, and we'll be like, "Oh no, you go ahead." We spend like 20 seconds. No, you go. This nigga Deuces will be like, all right, cool. Anyway, so this nigga never sacrifices the fucking. Anyway, so I digress. You show Reverse Flash in a quick battle because if you just want to introduce him and you just want to show the audience that this is who this is, you can do that. No different than if you look at, for the animated world, they never showed Reverse Flash in the Justice League cartoon. In Justice League Doom is the first time you see the Reverse Flash. So Justice League Doom comes before Justice League Flashpoint. So in Doom, they show the Reverse Flash getting all the heroes, like basically booby trapped, and then the Flash, bam, you see Reverse Flash set all this shit up. In Flashpoint, the Reverse Flash is taken out at the beginning of the movie. And then, because of this alternate reality, Barry's like, wait a minute, why do I have this Reverse Flash costume? And he has to realize that the Reverse Flash did this to him, has to get his powers back to try and figure this out because this warp timeline has been destroyed. However, with what we're pitching is a Flashpoint movie. Michael Keaton would have been playing, It
won't happen, man. Why are we doing this?
Michael Keaton would have been playing his father, Thomas Wayne, instead of Bruce Wayne, which would have been phenomenal.
That's what I thought was going to happen. Let me just say this real quick. Let me throw these numbers out real quick. The budget of this movie was $200 million.
Oh, it's a wrap. They failed.
Right. They made 75 nationwide. I mean, nationwide. Yeah. Globally, they made 139 million.
Damn it.
Yeah, no sequel for them.
Well, hold on. You said globally 100. They spent 200 million. You said
to make this movie.
To make it.
Yes.
So that means that in opening weekend, they've almost made their money back.
Yeah, but
because they were only projected.
Where are you getting those numbers from, Dion? And the only reason I asked is every report that I kept on saying was saying that they lost 300 mil. So I'm like, how did they lose 300 if they only spent 200 on it? That's
marketing.
You got to include marketing, and all of the sales. Yeah, everything you got to send to get pitched out for other stuff and slots.
But from what you just said, Dion, I, as of last night when I sent you guys the post, they had only made 55 million and they were projected to make 75 million. So if you're saying that in the States they made 75 million and worldwide they made 130, and it's only opening weekend that they're gonna make their money.
Their goal was 265 the first weekend.
All right, shit.
Nah, they're not. That's why I said there's no Flash sequel coming because there's certain new stuff they need to close out, and it's just not gonna happen. Like,
do y'all believe any elements from this movie James Gunn brings with?
You said brings with? Well, here's the thing. James Gunn, unfortunately and unintentionally, destroyed this movie, and I doubt that Aquaman 2's reception will be any better. James Gunn literally said, "Hey guys, we're starting new."
Yeah.
So when you say we're starting new, me as even a casual moviegoer is gonna be like, "Oh, great! Then I don't need to see these 3 movies you got coming out."
Yeah.
So, but he did say that Blue Beetle is a part of my new DCU.
True.
Which technically is not, but it is now. So by you saying that, that movie's gonna succeed outside of the Latin support. It's gonna succeed because you're saying this is part of your new vision. But if you're telling me basically the world has been like, all right, well, fuck it, I don't need to get excited if I'm not gonna see anybody from this movie again. But to answer your question, I believe that he doesn't take anything. Maybe Wonder Woman.
Supergirl. They did say Supergirl will come back to the DC.
Supergirl had a meeting with the DC. So
not the Flash particular one, but like again, we're in the multiverse,
right?
So that is who she can still look like and be put in.
So and the only reason why I floated that question, that one of the theories that I heard, and it just made me think. They were saying like the original version of that ending, like I said, it shows the feet, right? And there's been footage showing that Keaton shot that final scene, and eventually, of course, they ended up on Clooney. And everybody was saying, why bring Clooney into this unless Clooney's going to be the one in the Brave and the Bold? They say, and then now people were saying like that, we don't want Clooney to be our Brave and the Bold Batman, but like if you're going for an older Batman, you got to have an older, an older character and
incredible Bruce Wayne. Incredible Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. And so they were saying they was like, if this is something that, like the reason why they didn't have the last 10, the rumor was they was trying to figure out like if they're going to connect it or not, or what the deal is with James Gunn's situation. So they're saying that their theory is the whole purpose of even bringing in Clooney, which made no sense in this movie in general at first anyways, was like, all right, well, maybe Clooney might be our new Batman. So that was.
I think it made perfect sense. I don't even know why that would why they saying it don't make sense. Like again, back to the timeline thing. Time ain't linear.
Oh yeah.
So again, Flash don't know. And then if we being honest, when he's going through the Speed Force, Flash don't know where the fuck he going. If we just really keeping it honest, he'd be lucky he ends back up where he at. We just now get to see like, oh no, that's some real shit. This dude really did not get back home. And so that's why I was glad it did. Like how, again, back to see this is a love letter to Batman and Superman.
Yeah,
that was the perfect way to end that. If you really wanted to say it was gonna be some bullshit, it'd have been bullshit if Val Kilmer would have stepped out. That would have been some bullshit. That would have ruined this whole fucking movie if Val Kilmer got back off.
No.
I'd have been hot. I'd have been hot.
Nah, you know what? What y'all failed to talk about? Christian Bale. Nobody said that. That'd be a dope little way to kind of tie it at the end, right? Come on.
Here's the thing.
To Deuce's point, I wouldn't want that Flash to have met Bale. I would have want a better Flash to have met Christian Bale.
Well, here's the thing. Not even a better Flash. Christopher Nolan is iconic. But what Christopher Nolan did was he single-handedly destroyed DC with that statement that he made when they did the first Batman. When he said, after Batman 1 was extremely successful, he said, Batman is the only hero in this world.
Oh.
Which, when he said that destroyed everything, because now you show that we can't have a Robin. Yeah. Because Christian Bale said, I'm not going to do one if we got a Robin, which is crazy. And now we can't have Superman and Batman in this world because that shows things off. No matter how you feel about Michael Keaton, and I'll explain why I like Michael Keaton later, but no matter how you feel about Michael Keaton's Batman or Ben Affleck's Batman within that first scene, because he had the opening scene in Batman versus Superman. it showed you what kind of Batman this was going to be. Because when that movie opened, they showed Bruce having his falling through the Batcave, and bats raising him to the surface. When I saw bats make him fly to the surface, I said, got it. We're no longer in reality. This is now a comic book film.
Yep.
Because the Christian Bale movies made you feel like, oh man, I don't have $1 billion, but I could be Batman if I just knew how to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when you see this iteration of the Flash and you see the Batmen that they've used, Christian Bale would not have made sense in this universe. The only people who would have made sense were all the people who played Batman before Christian Bale. And unfortunately, because of Val Kilmer's health, I'm sure he would have been a viable possibility because he was a better Batman than George Clooney. But George Clooney was an incredible Bruce Wayne. Yeah. However, I will stand to say George Clooney, with who he is as an actor today, and even then, if he had a better director, he could have given us a gritty Batman. He could have given us an even more debonair Bruce Wayne. And I think if he is the direction moving forward for an older Batman Bruce Wayne, he could be phenomenal. But I only want to see Michael Keaton being old man Bruce dealing with Terry McGinnis if we get Batman.
Yes, 100%.
My Batman got a beard.
And that's the problem. When I saw that beard, I said, come on, man. Even Ben Affleck shaved his shit down. Come on, man. He got stubble out here.
But I'm saying, though, to Clooney's point, we don't know what point in Batman he was in. So to all of them, like you said, we don't know what timeline where they were at the point.
Are you ready for this? Y'all ready to get your head fucked up? Say I'm ready to get my head fucked up. Let me hear that.
Ready to get my head fucked up.
I was gonna say I gotta go.
So when you look at the end of The Flash and you see George Clooney, you know what we didn't hear is yes, I'm Batman. That nigga said, "Oh, are you You're not Batman." And George said, "What are you talking about?" That's what he said. He never even acknowledged that he's Batman. So if you don't acknowledge that you're Batman, we don't know what Barry ruined in this universe. He could literally just be Bruce Wayne, and there could be another person being Batman.
Yeah. And then too, like what did it say on his phone when he got off? It said Bruce Wayne, right?
It said Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, so just like to your point, we don't.
But also, you wouldn't save Batman's number as Batman in your phone.
That'd be wild.
Hey, I mean, to this point, you don't know what the hell Barry gonna do.
Got the Batman theme and everything for his ringtone.
He's pulling up on him in that incredible Benz, and you think he's about to say, "Oh, you outside? All right, cool." It hangs up and it says Batman, and Bruce Wayne pull up, and people ain't gonna notice. Come on, man. Iris all in his phone.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
And we didn't really do a big loss with Dion Lack because he wasn't really contributing to this DC conversation. I just want you to be.
I was like, well, the fans will catch that, but I was like, I was like,
Dion,
I know why I'm mute. I was like, I know why I'm double dutching right now, but
I mean, yeah, that's fine. But me and Deuces, like, I know about the Flash, like the Flash, and if you notice, bro. And I'm honored that we were able to do this episode. But if you've noticed, I've been talking so much because I know the Flash. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know, of course, because I did not read comic books like you guys. But I know a lot about the characters that I love, bro.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I was like so glad that you were able to come on here and it turned out the way it did. Woo! Because this is your space. And to be honest with you, we hadn't really got a chance since I've started this show to get a movie where you got a chance to shine like that. And so I was so glad when The Flash finally dropped it. We got to do this episode. I'm like, this will be the chance. CT really gets to show y'all this flex of being this diehard DC character.
Christopher Reeve's cameo almost made me cry because the way he was introduced, he was in the shadows and then he landed and you like, that's Christopher Reeves. And then they threw in Supergirl because they had Supergirl in this movie. Which
how she popped in though was just got me. I'm like,
hey, also, I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Even though that was spoiled, it still hit for me. It still hit for me. I was like, nigga.
But here's the thing. That's another reason you don't watch trailers because that took I feel like all the excitement should always go into the movie. And I'm the type of person that when I shoot trailers for something, I shoot the trailer of stuff that you're not gonna see in the movie, right? I show like I remember I cut a trailer to something, and I cut out everything good. I specifically shot scenes for a trailer, and that's what. Shout out to Michael J. White. Michael Jai White, to get his investors for the first Black Dynamite, shot a separate teaser, right? And the teaser he shot were scenes that are not in the movie because he filmed them just for the trailer.
Right.
And then the movie was the movie itself. So that's the kind of thing that you want to do. If you were, as a producer or a studio head or a director, are trying to get people to buy into your movie, all these alternate takes that you know you're not going to use, show that in the movie. We should have never seen Michael Keaton being in this movie. That's what would have gotten you over the $300 million mark, is if you would have shown, I feel like even showing Supergirl, and because of this media stuff, lets you know that Henry Cavill wasn't in the movie. But the things that you could have shown, the Flash, you also could have shown his mother. You could have shown that dance. You could have shown Iris, because we knew Iris from Justice League. You could have shown him saving babies. You could have shown a couple of shots of that action sequence. You could have also shown,
the Ben Affleck Batman as well, like they were showing. That could have been shown.
You could have shown Ben Affleck's Batman. But going into this movie, knowing that Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton were in this movie, you already blew your load.
Yeah, and you know, and because like even to expand on what you're saying, like we even just having him talk about having to go find a Batman, a different Batman, you could have ended right there, not without showing it, you know. And that's what I found myself. I found myself like normally movie studios, like I only watch the teaser trailer. And I do that for the exact same reason that you said. Usually the teaser trailer doesn't give that much. So when this teaser trailer showed me Keaton, showed me Wonder Woman, I said, and showed me Affleck, I said, wait, why are they showing me everything? I'm like, I feel like this is not a teaser. This is,
and they did it because I get why they did it. They did it because they know he couldn't promote the movie, and they needed to get everybody in the theater. But this is what you have to remember. Movies have always been about word of mouth. Rarely is it about people seeing the promo, because we live in a day and age where people are going to miss you being on the Tonight Show, or we're going to miss your appearance on Kimmel. But we will hear our friends say, yo, go see that movie. Like John Wick 1 didn't blow up in theaters. It blew up on demand. And nobody said any spoilers. We didn't say, oh man, so then it's this one scene where he kills like 30 people. We say, hey man, John Wick, it's this dude, they come and kill his dog, and you just got to go from there.
Even shorter, how my homies do. John Wick, bro.
That's all you got to do.
I'm going to see it when you hit the
picture. Somebody said that about The Flash, and you didn't see it, and they'd be like, "Yo, bro, I didn't expect that." What y'all talking about? The Flash, bro. Go see it,
bro.
Right now.
Case in point. Remember, I told you I was off The Flash. The whole sole reason that when I was going in, I expected to be proven wrong, because everybody who did was like, yo, hey, The Flash, no. And so I'm like, all right, that's all that little bit changed my outlook on at least being open to this movie. You know,
that movie blew me away, bro.
That movie blew me away too.
It blew me away, no pause. I was drained at the end of that movie, because not only did I laugh, I cried, I was hyped. There were so many moments I was jumping out of my chair for the things that I saw in that movie. And if you did not feel like I felt, you are waiting on a movie that is not coming, brother.
To this point, it was a straight love letter, bro. Like, even just again, I loved the storytelling because it was not too much and it was not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gave me what I needed. It gave me the great storyline. It showed me the trials and tribulations that this new guy that has taken on the mantle of being the Flash had to go through. And I love how they told that story. I love how they tracked it back to where, yo, I'm not going to give you a new villain. I want you to see the damage of which bringing metas and aliens to this world, what the consequences were. I like that they stayed in that bubble for it. And not try to give us something that we now know can't work. And this is the thing where I'll say blowing their load really failed because of everything that DC has went through. And I hope James Gunn can fix that. Because of them not going with their instinct and their gut. Every movie they've had came out, they always change it. We always hear about there was a different version that was supposed to come out and it didn't come out. There's always some kind of controversy that comes when one of these movies is about to drop, whether it's from an actor doing something stupid or or actor being treated like crap. And so we never really got a chance for this entire DCU to have itself a great run. And so I'm hoping that moving into James Gunn thing, we'll be able to get rid of that. They trust their instincts and they give us a full product that he can be proud of.
I agree completely. I feel that DC before James Gunn had all their share of controversy with not releasing things because they thought, no, we got to make it digestible. Listen, man, I know you want to fill these theaters up. I know that they're not putting these movies in the small theater with the recliner seats because they want to get as many people as they can in the big ones to sell these tickets. However, if anything, you want to know how you can make some money, fellas? I'll tell you how you can make some money. You target your real fans, your diehards, and you target your casual fans. And this is how you do it. You say, damn, this movie is 4 hours long. We can't have that because we can't go in the theater just doing 4 or 5 showings a day. We need to run this shit every 2 hours. I want 12 showings. All right, bet. So you want to cut this movie down to 2.5 hours? Yes. Shit, more if we can. Done. We're going to take this 4-hour movie and make this shit 2.5 hours. All right, bet. Now the 2.5-hour movie is going to go into your big 300-seat theater. But we also dropping this 4-hour movie with everything in it. And we're dropping that shit for the diehards. Now we're going to drop that 4-hour movie and we're going to charge a little bit extra because if we put out a 4-hour movie, you better make this shit worth our while. You mean to tell me you don't think that the casual fans are going to spend that little $15 and the deluxe movie version, diehard fans won't spend $25, $30? Fuck out of here. We will spend it.
I'm spending it to go to IMAX.
Come on.
4 hours in IMAX.
Give it to me.
I was going to say, I wonder why did they abandon like that thought process? I mean, director's cut, extended cuts, IMAX version, it exists for a reason.
It's your instinct
that like that, right? Instead of saying, no, this is the sole one, we're only sticking with it. Like, embrace it. Like, yeah, we got a longer version. We can't, like, the world is smart enough, like CT said, they're smart enough to know what you can't give us a 4-hour movie. So instead of trying to like say, oh no, we sticking with this one, no, like embrace it. Like CT said, acknowledge that we got one, acknowledge that we got another one. I think again, like you said, they're trying to be multiple steps ahead in success.
Yeah,
it's also too many hands.
It's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
they want to do this.
Too many hands.
I'm telling you how to run your business, DC and Marvel. And I'm not talking about with every movie because I'm not about to watch a 4-hour cut, even if I'm a diehard fan of the Captain Marvel. I'm not watching her for 4 hours. But when you have a character like an Iron Man, or you have a character like Spider-Man, or you go back to DC and you got Batman and Superman, and we know and trust this director, and we know and love this actor, and we know and love this writer, we're going to watch a 4-hour movie. Now, I'm saying that as somebody who will watch a movie 4 hours of a character I love, but I know people who will not watch that movie. So if you have the people, first of all, theaters, you have screens. Big movies usually get 3,000 to 6,000 screens across the world or across the country, depending on your deal. Okay. Now, if you have 3,000 screens and you have 3,000 screens of The Flash right now, if you have 3,000 screens and you're not making the money that you want to make off this, because there are a lot of people who have there's a lot of bad press associated to this movie with the character that is the lead. And there is a lot of stuff that you had to cut out of this movie. If you were to take those 3,000 screens and you know you didn't make your money back, or you know you're not going to make as much money as you should, what's the harm in, out of the 3,000 screens you already have, showing 1,500 screens having the 4-hour version and the other 1,500 having the 2.5-hour version? I guarantee you would have made your fucking money, because the people who are the diehards would pay the money. We'll binge watch a 10-episode show in a day. We'll watch a 4-hour movie if we truly love the character.
Yeah. And I think one of the big things too that hopefully they'll be able to fix, and I know they're still trying to find that medium, is you have to stop letting these brands and sponsors dictate the full movie where it takes away your point and your artistic view. Because I think that was another thing DC had a problem with. You had way too many cooks in the kitchen and telling you, oh, well, we don't think that this is going to be too fitting for the audience. We want to give our money for you to make this movie. And it's like, yeah, but we are guaranteed that these fans are going to go see this. Like, this is what they want. Like, even to, like, again, to CT's point, if you go watch this cartoon, we literally just got to make this live action and they'll go see it. And we will make all of our money back. And it's like,
yes,
yeah, but I don't know. I think
it's that balance of trying to figure out if, like, because I get it, you can't listen to the audience always, but we've had some examples where listening to the audience always, like, to help out. We got a whole new Sonic when they gave us Ugly Sonic because of the fans saying that. The Snyderverse was a success that cost, wasn't like what, 200 extra mil to reshoot all of that or some shit like that. Like,
I think it was 20 million.
Oh, 20,
yeah, 20 million to add the extra stuff.
Did add the extra stuff, but it was still a success on the streaming service. It's like, there's certain points where you got to trust. I'm hoping, and like I said, I am praying James Gunn has garnered enough respect that they're like, you know what? Let's just see what James Gunn. Let's trust in him and his vision, and let's not put our hands in it like we normally do. I'm just praying that they give him that respect for allow him to cook.
We gonna see, man. But let me get y'all final thoughts on the Flash, and just from what we know with this final chapter closing out for the Snyderverse, everything that they've done, would you say that was a good send off for that? Like, especially with all the controversy that's happening, everything that's going on, can you say that, hey, like, if we were supposed to put a bow on this, and we go outside of Aquaman too, because we just already know, would this have been a good end and a good ribbon to tie everything up for them?
Okay, because I know CT gonna go in, because this is like, let me just go real quick. All right, so this has been my final stance on it. This is what that I've been taking. I said, if you like Ezra Miller's Flash from Justice League, you are going to like this movie, right? Like, no matter what, like I said, what I was already out of, because I didn't like his portrayal of Barry Allen and Flash. So if you did like that from Justice League, this is more of that and a little bit better, and you're going to like this movie. I do agree with CT's main point, as this is a love letter to Batman's and Superman. And because of that, like, it's a bow for that. But as a Flash movie, I 100% don't like it.
Right.
Deuces. You know what this is? You are the stepson that this nigga is trying his best to win you over. This nigga took you for ice cream. He done told your mama how impressed by your drawings he is. He's bought you shit for your birthday. And none of what he does is going to make you call him dad. You are a tough stepkid. For me, this was the movie that should have come out after Aquaman, so we could have truly said goodbye. The fact that they pushed Aquaman to December, crazy to me. Aquaman should always come out in the summer, because it's aqua, is water. People think of water and fun, and you got to think about marketing. These people, man. Anyway, Aquaman should have been before the Flash, and the Flash should have been the goodbye to the old Snyderverse. Because of the changes that we're about to go through, it's better to leave fans getting less attached than we were before. So this would have been a good goodbye. Ezra Miller's troubles could have been cleared up publicly by him doing press. And what I mean is, yes, these smaller reporters are going to try and push the envelope and try to ask you, hey, they said I can't ask you about this, but I'm on my Robert Downey Jr. Inappropriate question tour. So, hey, man, what's going on with the girl that you choked in Hawaii? Hey, get the fuck out of here, right? Those guys are going to do that all day long. But Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, these guys are not going to do that, because their shows are contingent upon these super big guests. And if they were to blindside somebody, they wouldn't get any more guests. So they wouldn't ask him about that kind of stuff. So the fact that you didn't even let him promote it shows that you're really putting the cart before the horse and thinking this movie is going to make all of this bread back for you not to be able to have to promote it. I'm sorry. The original question is, moving forward, was this the movie? Moving forward, no, because as great as a job as he did, which was an Oscar-worthy performance, if I could be honest, I hope they allow him to be the Flash moving forward, but this is the part of the game where I can honestly admit I don't know.
I respect it. I respect that. I can respect that. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised. I ain't gonna hold you because of how much you liked it, but I respect your thought process into it and everything. Like, that's the one thing about these conversations, why this collective of us works so well, is that we don't rarely react off of emotion. There's always a thought process to it, and your thought process to it. Like I said, it made, out of everybody that I listened to, you were the first person to successfully make me look at this movie a little bit different and give it a little bit more slack. Slack. Sorry about that.
Incredible movie, bro. It's just sometimes the audience will show you that they can't separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Like, I love The Flash. I have no business knowing anything about Ezra Miller's personal life.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Barry Allen and The Flash.
Yeah.
This movie gave me my Batman back. Michael Keaton. Oh, let me say that. I'm sorry. Michael Keaton is the best Batman for a number of reasons. Number one, he's the first Batman that had believable fight scenes. Okay. In Batman 1 and Batman Returns, that was epic fight choreography for that time period. So you got that, and it stepped away from the cartoon, even though it was very cartoonish when we look at 30 years later. But for that time period, that was an extremely dark take on Batman, because the Batman before that was Adam West.
Yep.
And there was another brother in the 30s. Exactly. He's dancing, doing that bullshit. He had a blue and cream. It was just a weird ass outfit.
Hey, not gonna lie though, would not mind seeing a Batman comedy like that come back now.
You out of control. So
Batman's so dark now. It'll be weird to go back to campy Batman.
It would.
I would love. I think that's perfect. Like a 30-minute comedy of the spoofed Batman. Like, I think that'd be great.
Anyway, so Michael Keaton was the first dark Batman, right? We got a chance to see a brooding Batman. We got a chance to see how he truly thought. We got a chance to see an intelligent detective, and we got a chance to see a human. He wasn't so dark that he was cold, right? Like Ben Affleck's Batman had gotten to a point where he was cold with criminals. He was branding. That's something that even Christian Bale didn't do. So again, if Ben Affleck had his solo Batman film, he would be my number 2 Batman. But I rank my Batmans based on what they've done for my lifetime, as far as changing my culture. And for well over a decade, Michael Keaton was the standard. He was somebody that we had to compare Val Kilmer and George Clooney to. And it took Val Kilmer and George Clooney to make one Batman to be even contestable to Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton isn't even 6 feet tall. That's how amazing he was as Batman. He had the world saying he's going to be a horrible Batman, and 30 years later, he's still relevant as the portrayal of Batman that he had, in comparison to Val Kilmer, who was an amazing Batman, horrible Bruce Wayne, and George Clooney, amazing Bruce Wayne, horrible Batman. So Christian Bale, he gave us an okay Bruce Wayne, a great Batman, and Ben Affleck gave us an incredible both.
Yep. That's why he's my number 2.
Michael Keaton, dude, to see him be able to have updating fighting scenes and to see him soaring through the sky,
that made him number 1, bro.
and being cool as fuck, like him to say, I'm Batman. They'd say let's get nuts. You want to get nuts? Because these are iconic things that he did, bro.
Yeah. But then to see it with the CGI too that you have today to give him, like when he was fighting the Kryptonians and stuff, I was like, yo, this is what he didn't have when Tim Burton shot it. And this is why it made, even for myself, was like, okay, he's number 1 again. Like I had him in Ben Share. I was like, no, Keaton just showed why he is that dude when it comes to Batman.
Keaton, the thought of Keaton playing old man Bruce was so big and so like amazingly dope. Like when I saw him as Vulture, I was like, dog, please get him back as old man Bruce, because like what he was doing with Vulture was like I liked that portrayal. And I just started seeing old man Bruce, and I'm like CT said, we get Batman beyond Terry McGinnis. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
And here's the thing, I'll give you this, bro. Michael Keaton, and this is what I love about him. He wants to play Batman.
He wants to.
My beef with Christian Bale, my beef even a little with Affleck. These are guys that play Batman well, but there were other interests within it. So Ben Affleck came on because he was promised he'd be able to direct the Batman movie that he was going to do. Once that was taken away, he's like, all right, well, fuck it. I don't want to fucking do this. Yeah. Michael Keaton is like, hey, I am Batman. I want to play. He agreed to do it in the Batgirl movie. They took it away from him.
Yo, CT, I don't know why I just picture Michael Keaton calling them and they saying, yeah, man, he backed out. Want some help?
I love that I Am Batman is canon in every universe. Because when Barry was trying to find out, he was like, we ain't got no Batman. And later she was like, I am Batman. Why you say that? Why you say that?
Why you say that? Like,
dude, that Michael Keaton is iconic to me. His color scheme is exactly why my color scheme. You look at this room right now, you see this yellow curtain, you see the black next to it. I adopted black and yellow because of Michael Keaton's Batman. No other Batman has had a theme song. And that's the problem. Christian Bale's Batman had this weird ass sound that Hans Zimmer came up with. My guy to this day is still the dude that created the Batman cartoon theme song, which is the same guy, Danny Elfman, who did the cartoon theme song, which was a derivative from Michael Keaton's Batman. That's
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was inspired by that.
Yeah.
It makes sense because if the cartoon, it makes sense though, because I always don't know why I kept mixing them up. Like, yo, the movie dropped way before the cartoon was made. I'll say,
And here's my beef, bro. When we talk about the Snyderverse, first of all, shout out to Zack Snyder for his completely different version and vision for DC, but shout out to him for at least having a plan.
Yeah,
we can always get mad at somebody for them not doing their plan correctly or hitting the marks that we expect it to hit. But I salute him for having a plan because DC for so long did not have a plan. They were just throwing things against the wall. The fact that we had a Jonah Hex movie, they could kiss my ass. The fact that we had a Catwoman movie, they could kiss my ass right after I get off the toilet. You understand me? But the fact that Snyder
wait, hold on, because that Catwoman movie, again, he goes to the directing, like the liberties that they took to the story. Like, wait, what are you doing with this story?
They thought people were paying attention.
Yeah, they go back to not being a fan, not really knowing who Catwoman is, and it's like, oh, so she's a Catwoman. That means she got cat powers. No, Nick, no, stop. You already going in the wrong direction. Before you even start. No. And that was the problem. So
that was the whole problem. So when you look at Zack Snyder, he had a plan.
Yeah.
His plan was a very different take on the Justice League, even being the Justice League, because as I said, you can't have a Justice League without the Green Lantern. And he somehow tried to do that. Mm-hmm. So when we look at Michael Keaton loves playing Batman. He's the one who put the role on the map. And he had a theme song, just like Superman had a theme song. But my only gripe with Zack Snyder's Snyderverse is that Batman nor Superman had their theme songs in this universe. And that's what always pissed me off. No matter how much I liked Ben Affleck, I'm like, if he would have had the Keaton theme song, I would be with it. And that Keaton theme song was all through this Flash movie. So it's part of the love letter.
And dang it to your fact, only Wonder Woman got her own shit.
She got her, and what's crazy is Marvel has shown us multiple times that it doesn't even have to be the exact theme song. It doesn't even have to be the full. It can be one chord bed, like, you know what I'm saying. Like one of the things that in Miss Marvel, when they did that little bit of that, like it added so much to that.
It changed the entire movie because people were talking about, did you hear the music? So to let you know, audiences listen to music, and I'll tell you even more of why it's so disrespectful that Andy didn't give a nod to Grant Gustin at all is because you used Grant Gustin's Professor Zoom, aka Jay Garrick, on that show, stock footage, but you didn't use Grant Gustin's Flash, and you stole Grant Gustin's Flash background music.
Yes, I heard that in there, and I was
come
like,
on,
wait a minute. Like, y'all gonna adapt his stuff, add a little more horns and shit.
They
it's
stole
like,
everything.
You not even gonna show him?
Didn't even show him, bro.
I was like, that's raw, bro.
And I'm gonna praise this black queen, Candace Patton. Candace Patton was so amazing as Iris West that the young lady that was in this film, again, I'm gonna defend the young lady that was in this movie by saying Kiersey Clemons.
Yep.
I'm gonna defend her by saying clearly all of her scenes were rearranged.
Yeah.
Because the way that they portrayed this sister doing that role did not do her justice. But Candace Patton, I know she took a lot of bullshit from doing that TV show. Yeah. And let me tell you something. The way her acting was on screen for those past 9 seasons, I applaud you.
Yes. You did a phenomenal job.
And I wish they could have used her.
Yeah, but you know what though, to that point, if we're looking at it, how they're paired, Iris complimented Grant well.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody said, I heard that.
And I believe this Iris would have complimented him well because both of them are weirdos, and that's what you get off of them. Y'all both weirdos. Like, Iris isn't this glorified journalist like that. Like, she is kind of in that B tier list thing, and that's what I was getting off of them. It's just the point is, like, you missed the key thing, which there is an undeniable love these two have for one another, and y'all didn't give us that.
But also, if you're gonna show Iris in this film, give me one scene to make her come up and ask Barry that weird ass question about his parents, and he's like, "What? No, my dad is innocent. What are you talking about?" For her to have said that, she's like, "No, I'm sorry. I just meant it would have been great for her to have been at her newspaper, and she's not the head of it yet." And her boss says, "Hey, don't you know that Barry Allen kid? That's this guy's son." Yeah, but he's grieving. He doesn't. Hey, you're a journalist. Go ask the journalist questions. He killed his mother. Find out why.
And even to that point where if you really want to add some more emphasis to her, she could have asked him about the Flash. Be like, yo, have you heard? And then this way you could have paid nod. Have you heard of this dude that's been running around? He's kind of like a Scarlet Speedster and stuff. That's kind of just one of the names.
Well, but in this universe, I think he's already established. Remember, he has some fangirls on
yeah, because they did call him the Flash.
They called him the Flash. So he's not even a blur. Like the world knows this Flash is here. CT, because you talked about it earlier.
Wait, before you say it, this is what you could have done to your point from earlier for establishing him as truly the Flash. Give me a reshot version, or no, you know what? You don't even have to reshoot that. I'm talking about when Captain Boomerang was on the Suicide Squad. Do this for me. Show him putting away 2 minor villains from his rogues gallery on his way to stopping those babies from dying in that hospital.
Even connected more, CT. He drops off Boomerang, walks by, and Amanda Waller's right there.
Come on.
And now we know why he was back in the Suicide Squad for the second one.
Give it to me. Deuces, what are you about to say?
I'm gonna ask a question because you had said, like, you hope that they drop the director's cut or whatever. Did they has there been any news about what was cut off or anything? Because again, like, to the Iris, like that actress is such a dope ass actress. For the fact that y'all gave her no room, like, I'm hoping that there's some scenes on the cutting floor that we at least see.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Henry Cavill is supposed to have had a cameo in there,
and that's why I'm glad they at least kept his 3D CG, because them not having him in the movie at all was a disservice and a slap in the face to what he's contributed. Another actor who wanted to play the character. I was at a friend's house and Kiersey Clemons was there. I'm not gonna say the friend. I was at a friend's house. Kiersey Clemons was there, and I say this to say actors know when you're cut out of something.
Yeah.
We know when something is boiled down and destroyed. And that's what that sister had on her face. To give you a further example, Deuces and Will, I was on a TV show, and the TV show, one of the network executives was there. I had a kissing scene. This kissing scene between myself and this actress was Oh, phenomenal. Okay. And I'm not saying that because she's an incredible actor. I'm just saying like the chemistry we had for this particular scene was phenomenal. The network, huh?
I'll say y'all did y'all thing.
Yeah, we did our thing. The network executive came over and was like, yeah, it's not supposed to be as like, you know, like passionate. Can you guys just do like a peck, like this? And we were both like, but the scene was perfect. It was fine. And whenever they come and ask you to do a different version or another take, please remember that that's the take they're going to use. This was something that I learned as an actor that I will never do again if I'm happy with what I did. Mm-hmm. So we had done the scene the way that she had wanted. She's like, just try it like this. And we were like, oh God. So we did it like that. When I saw the episode, that's the take they used. Right. After that, I shot a drama series where I had played the character extremely like serious, and it was perfect. And I'm not saying it because it was my performance. It just felt right for the scene. The director comes and was like, yeah, let's do it a little more silly. And I'm like, this is a fucking drama. Why do I have to do it silly? Just because I'm a comedian outside of these walls. Let's just do it serious. Yeah, just do one little take. Oh God. I do the silly take. That's the take that made it to television. Now, to get back to my original point, when I saw Clearcy at that house, I say, yo, congratulations. This is going to be phenomenal. She was like, thank you. And I was like, I wonder what that's about. And then now that I see the movie, I know what that was about.
Yeah, that's what that face was for.
Yeah, because actors be knowing, and that's why I'm not going hard on this sister. Also, just because we don't destroy our black queen.
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely not going hard on her at all.
Never. But she knew that they had cut her dramatically down.
Yeah,
and that's the unfortunate part of it. I would have rather she wasn't in this movie to set her up for the next one.
Yeah.
Or even at the end of the movie when he goes to the courthouse and he's like, my dad is free. He could have been passing the little coffee stand and she's right there and he looks at her and he's like, hot. And then his phone rings.
Oh,
and his phone rings. He looks up. She's walked away. And he's like, fuck, Bruce, listen, man. And then bam.
Yeah. Or even too, you could have had that yell out, coffee for Iris or coffee for Miss West.
And then he turns around.
And the
you know what I mean?
Like you just said. And it's that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of fixing movies on this show, man. They've been listening.
But with all the but y'all saying that even comes to my thing of like the question I asked. I think because of them having this movie for James Gunn's sake, this is a great way for you to completely wipe your slate clean. This movie gave us everything from what they were trying to do, what they had done, and even what people who, outside of DCU had done. You've given us everything in the DC live action history. For James Gunn, don't bring none of that shit up no more. Create your own lane now. We don't need no homages. We don't need no multiversal stuff. Start where your point is, where you want to start. Brave and the Bold, we don't need nothing from these past things. You've given us everything.
You're right.
Start your new legacy with what you're doing now.
And that's what's so beautiful, because with this film, they have gotten all the homages out the way. Well, with the exception of Grant Gustin, which I think, for me, the Arrowverse in general,
they did it.
Should be, and they did all of their homages as well. But I'm somebody that, okay, Deuces, you know this because it's Geek Set. Y'all are pretty much Dipset, but for nerds. It means that you're a fan of Cameron and the rest of those guys. So you and BT Kingsley would be best friends. But as a leader, to be a good leader, you don't have to pat the heads and rub the backs of all of your teammates. Right. But what you do have to do is acknowledge them and show them how much you appreciate their hard work. Right. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to do that by coddling them, but sometimes it could just be hey, great job with that. I was really blown away. And those teammates of yours will text you the next day. Hey man, thank you so much for saying that. Or, hey, did you see when I did that one thing? That was for you. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the Arrowverse, I feel like all of those actors deserve that attaboy or attagirl because they've held us down since 2012. And they've never gotten any type of acknowledgement or any thank you
Nothing, bro. Well, you getting it here, yo. To all of y'all in the Arrowverse, man. Thank you for holding us down. All of you that, matter of fact, not even just the Arrowverse, from the Titans, Doom Patrol, all of you that made DC come to life on television. Thank you so much. And you should have gotten your flowers in the Flash movie, even if it was just 2 seconds of it, because y'all did some groundbreaking stuff that I think would have opened the door for DC to even want to make the jump into live action, because y'all held it down. And shout out to Dean fucking Cain.
Shout out to Dean Cain. Dean Cain.
Put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on him, bro. Dean Cain got us through some times that we didn't even know if we were gonna have superhero shows. Dean Cain's Superman came at a time where there was no superhero television, bro. Superman was the only game on television,
bro.
Holding it down. I'm talking about against top tier sitcoms. Like, yo, this was when, like, yo,
on a Sunday night,
bro,
come on.
Bro, the way that people talk about like Power and Succession, like that was like, and remember at that time also nerd culture wasn't as popping as it was now, so it was a very small compartment. So you had your crew like, hey, you watch it, like it was so. Yeah,
and since we're on the subject, bro, Dean Cain. I'm also going to mention Tom Welling.
Yes, yeah.
Tom Welling did not get a chance to play Superman in the sense that we wanted to see him, but Tom Welling was the only Clark Kent we had after Dean Cain's show went off the air. And Tom Welling was handed that baton by Christopher Reeves, because Christopher Reeves did several guest appearances on Smallville. And I got to shout out the greatest Lex Luthor of all time, and also the greatest Wally West of all time, Flash, Michael Rosenbaum, bro. Yeah. If it was not for these guys holding down the fort, we wouldn't have an Arrowverse. We wouldn't have such a resurgence in superhero films that we see now, because there were no other live action shows that had succeeded. Mutant X was a far cry from what they wanted it to be. I'm telling you, bro. Smallville, then the Arrowverse, and the Arrowverse became the Flashverse, and you know that went away. But thank you guys so much for everything that y'all did.
Yeah, man, y'all really gave it to us, bro. Yo, but as y'all can see, this has been a super episode, and I couldn't ask for nothing better, man. We almost knocking on 3 hours, and that's a good thing. It's like we said, bro. We don't really get a chance to talk about DC, so I'm glad CT got a chance to shine in something that he absolutely loves. And we're going to be getting more of it now with James Gunn coming in and being able to start this entire DCU over. And, you know, hopefully in compare, you know, you don't want to compare it, but to compare it, hopefully he gives us something as just as well as they've given us with the DC animated show, movies, excuse me.
Oh, yeah. And so, I think the first thing up in movie-wise is Blue Beetle. And then we got Aquaman before the end of the year. And then in 2025, we got Superman. But he said the Amanda Waller show is first. And then we go straight into Superman.
And then they just say, like, Peacemaker is about to start production as well.
Well, Peacemaker comes after Superman. So he said the Amanda Waller show, which is pretty much the entire cast of Peacemaker, will be in the Amanda Waller show, then Superman, then Peacekeeper season 2.
Yeah, that's the headline I read. It's after Superman. That's what.
But Comic-Con comes up in a couple of weeks, and we will be able to see who is playing Superman and who's playing Lois Lane and Lex Luthor. Hopefully, it is Miss Maisel playing Lois Lane, because she has been Lois Lane without even trying, and she would be my number 2 after Erica Durance.
Okay. Man, I hope it's not Beast playing Superman. No offense, but I'm just
he will be a great Lex Luthor. Just shave that head, because the hairline already gone.
That's who I want him as, like Lex Luthor. So hopefully, I don't know who's gonna be Superman, but I'm believing in James Gunn, man. To take Guardians the way he took it, man, I'm just like,
he took a property we didn't care about. I didn't know anything about Guardians, and he made me care.
Right.
Yeah, I only knew Star-Lord, and that was because of Nova, and that was really it.
I knew about Rocket Raccoon, and that was only because of Capcom versus Marvel.
Yep. And see, I was just about to say that's the exact same reason.
Yeah, because sworn he was just in the video games, didn't even know he was in comics.
Had no idea. And then you had Bradley Cooper. So now, knowing that James Gunn, the characters from Guardians of the Galaxy and the actors from Guardians of the Galaxy will follow James Gunn to the end of the world, we know that almost all the Guardians will be in the new DC. So I'm telling you right now, Bradley Cooper for Hal Jordan. Bam. I said it. I meant it. Bradley Cooper for Hal Jordan.
Not mad at that at all.
Hey, and if we doing that, Batista for Lobo.
Ooh, the big guy.
Ooh.
Come on, man. Batista
The main
Lobo?
man.
Yeah. I cannot wait till we get Lobos, bro. I love Lobos as a character so much, bro.
Yeah.
If they don't give it to Jason Momoa, if they don't give it to him, like I would love to see Batista play.
They're not going to give it to him because I remember James Gunn said we're not going to have people play multiple characters in DC.
Oh, okay. So that rumor they can.
They won't.
Yeah, he cleared that up quick.
When before James Gunn started like replying to people on Twitter, he thought we was on the Jason Momoa may play it, but once he started replying to people on Twitter, he was killing all that shit.
Yeah, he killed everything.
Yeah, he's done. He's playing the fish, and that's it.
Who could Michael Rooker play in DC? Villain or hero? Who could he play?
Whoa, wait. Who did he play in Guardians?
Guardians. He was the guy with the
Yondu.
Yondu. He played Yondu.
He played it in Suicide Squad though.
Oh, he was a Suicide Squad.
He was a Suicide Squad. And
he died though, didn't he?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah. Well, we know Nathan Fillion did not die in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah.
No. Well, no, never mind. The people clicked deceased on the screen, but again, we didn't see him die, and then we saw Weasel wasn't dead either. So
yeah, Weasel was alive, and Weasel is Sean Gunn. So we got our first confirmation of who's in the DC universe.
Oh well, he's Calendar Man too.
Sean Gunn?
Yeah. Remember
Did
when
not
they were
know
in
that.
the prison? He was in the prison. He was talking. Hey, you stupid idiot! He was making fun of Polka Dot Man. That was Sean Gunn.
Oh,
And he was Calendar Man because he had all the numbers right there. That's what made me know he was Calendar Man because he has all the numbers right there on his forehead. And I was like, okay.
And he said we're not getting a Suicide Squad 3.
I can see that.
Yeah, I feel like he revived it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
He saved it and gave it what it needed to be, and I'm okay with that. Like to your point that you've always said a long time too. Like I don't need the focus to be on the villains.
Nah,
and
give me the heroes first.
Yeah,
first of all, Suicide Squad was another misstep from DC because they had so many more. Every character in the Justice League should have been on their sequel by the time a Suicide Squad even was thought of. So by the time Suicide Squad came out, their number 3 movie should have been on the rise so that all of their characters, that's one brilliant thing that I'll say about DC television before they went too far, was that they introduced a lot of their villains and they brought them back multiple times. And then they were like, you know what? Let's give them this spinoff show because we love these actors so much.
Yeah.
That's the thing that DC Films should have done. Like, all right, let's introduce these characters, and now let's create the Suicide Squad with the characters that we already love, instead of always being in the origin story space.
Or how they try to focus on making a woman lead too hard. You did that with Wonder Woman. That was why it didn't come together the way it should have been, because you were trying to. Yay!
It goes back to what y'all said. Stop trying to check off those boxes.
Yeah, you're trying to check out so many boxes, man. When you make a character, to this day, I praise the movie Salt with Angelina Jolie. To this day, I praise Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. Like, I praise these movies because these are I praise Wonder Woman 1 because these are films where women are leading them.
Yep.
And they're just great movies. They don't have this agenda. They're not trying to check off boxes. They just made a great movie that happened to check off boxes.
Yeah.
Don't go into a movie saying we need to check off boxes before we make this script. Just make the script, and then if it happens to check off boxes, you're gonna win even more.
And that's why the Suicide Squad didn't make it, because you wanted to push Harley Quinn too hard.
Yeah.
Too hard.
And it was like, yo, you should have let her, like how it was in the comic. It allowed us to make her a favorite because of what it was. Here, you're trying to force us to make this live action version the favorite. And it's like, you don't have to do that.
Let's just make her the star. Let's just give her own movie. It's like, that's not and then even in that, you're giving another origin story of these other people. And it's like you're introducing people instead of like in in Zack Snyder's universe, all these heroes just existed. So that meant all these villains just existed. You can't do that. You have to introduce people, and especially you have to introduce these villains. So there's no way you show me Black Canary, and she's just been around for years, and we didn't see her anytime before that. And for you to do the Justice League movie, I believe Justice League came out after the emancipation of Harley Quinn, right?
I believe so. Yeah. No, you're right. The Snyder came out after that.
So if you do that, how do you not show Black Canary, a hero with meta powers, helping the Justice League?
Yeah.
Or any mention of her before then. And then
It just doesn't make sense.
And how do you make the Joker an afterthought?
And how does the Black Canary exist and a Green Arrow doesn't? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Because I was just like, yo, so where's Ollie? As soon as I saw her, I was like, so
where's Ollie?
Ollie's here. And then even to that point, you mention Sionis building, but you don't mention Queen Industries.
Come on, man.
Like that's nowhere around to be his competing thing. Like you could have easily threw that in there and stuff like that.
There are too many billionaires in the DC comic world for you not to show them. Thank God Ted Kord is going to be mentioned in Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So
we got to get out. I see Deuces looking at his watch.
Because I thought it was going to be you first to say, all right, I got to get out of here.
No. Today I was literally free. I have nothing to do.
He was like, I got time today.
Got nothing.
It's my daughter. I gotta take her to dance class. My daughter keep on texting me.
Yeah, it's your daughter's dance class, huh? You gotta take my daughter's dance class.
The hip hop aerobics ain't gonna do themselves.
Great episode, y'all.
Yeah, no, I love it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out another episode of Straight Out of a Comic Book. Let us know in the comments below, what do you rate the Flash movie from a scale of 1 to 10? If it's anything below 5, don't comment at all. Y'all know how this goes. I've been your host, Will Pharaoh. Thanks CT and Deuces and Dion for contributing absolutely nothing to this episode. Glad he showed up. Glad he showed up. And shout out to all of y'all, man. Like, subscribe, turn on your notifications to the channel, and we will catch y'all next.
Yeah.